That is so annoying, isn't it? It's annoying enough to want to throw things at me. Hey, do it. Not bothered. It's annoyingly catchy because it's the only elevator music. In fact, it's called elevator music by some gadget who's giving away copyright-free music for streams. I know that it's annoying. Anyway, trading update. It's 9:45 on the evening, so that's 21:45 nearly. For anyone in the 24-hour clock mindset, on the 14th of October 2019. Excuse me, I've had far too many kebabs today. And a couple of tins of fizzy, frothy stuff that, always nice. Anyway, boom, get some. I run a Twitch channel as well. Pop over and have a view, please do. But I run a Twitch channel, and I was doing some housekeeping, and over on Twitchy / YouTube, there is a couple of videos, or one actually at the minute, but there's a video and another one that's been looked at that has been muted for copyright infringement. Some band believes that I am using their music over my streams. The weird thing is that I've only just started using music on streams today, because it's a bit boring when I stop talking, which I do frequently. It's boring just looking at a blank screen, or a screen where the candles move about every now and again. So I put a little bit of copyright-free music in the background, which I'm guessing you can hear. Can I hear it? Let me put my headset on. I can hear it. Yeah. I just switched to my YouTube channel. I can hear it. Yeah. Anywho, so I'm getting quite annoyed with the streaming lark already. But anyway, sod it. Let me get back onto my streaming gear. So this is a little bit of a trading update. If anyone was kind enough to be watching me earlier today, you may already know that I was taken into a trade, stupidly, just after 12 o'clock. It was 12:05. That took me in. That's mental. Let me just put that down to that one and turn that off so I don't hear myself constantly. Boom, good. Yeah, so taken into a trade at 12:05, which I shouldn't have been in now. I should not be in this trade at this minute. My strategy tells me that no matter what I've done, so if I set an order on the 11 o'clock and price does not rocket through immediately, even if it's got to close above my entry and then come back down again, then I shouldn't be in it. I should have closed it. I should have got out. I didn't. I was stupid. I set it far too early. I walked away. I was waffling on here on YouTube actually, and was about to close it, and this candle, the 12 o'clock candle, started. It popped up, took me in, and then retraced straight away. The next two candles then started to do exactly the same. And I was talking about, there was some resistance being spoken about in a Discord chat server that I'm on, up here at 2431. So we looked back, and yeah, there's a high up here. I'm not really that fussed. My strategy isn't that type of strategy. I'm not the type of person who looks at these and goes, oh yeah, I'll take my profits out, or it's got to go past that bit first. I mean, that'd be nice, don't get me wrong, it would be nice, but that's not the point. The point is, my strategy tells me to get in, I get in. I shouldn't be in now, because my strategy also tells me when I should have closed it or cancelled the order. Anyway, that's a lesson I've learnt now about streaming. Very nice, thank you. Not you, me. But anyway, so we got in at 2,415. My stop is down at 2,315. Yes, that's 100 points away. Yes, at £1 a point, that's only losing £100. No biggie. But I've just been on Twitch explaining this as well, so I might as well explain it now. My strategy for a small account, this is for a small account, this is my strategy that I used to use on the when I was, it wasn't £1,000, but it was when I had a smaller account than I do now, but obviously I'm doing a £1,000 thing. A friend of mine, Ron, asked me to look into doing that to help other people that may have a small account as well. So on a £1,000 account, on a small account, it's not about major returns. It's all about the small wins and as many of them as you can get, with the occasional massive win. And a massive win could be 20, 30, 40% of your account balance back in one, with a 2, 3, 4 hour return. But what you'll probably find is that you'll get a 1 hour return, or a 2 hour return, or a 1.8 hour return, which will make you maybe 2%, maybe 3.5%. And next one you'll lose 1 hour, which will be a 1% return. Then you might win 0.4 hour, then you might lose 0.4 hour, and then you might win 2 hours. So that's how building up a small account works. On a big account, you don't have the same entry criteria, reason for entry, reason for exit. Remember the three? Well, you probably don't remember. No one's on the stream. But if anyone were to be watching, listening, there's the things you've got to do is be consistent, be able to lose the money, and give a trade time to play out. But on top of that, you've got to have a reason for entry, a reason for exit, and know where your stop goes. Excuse me. If those aren't in place, if you don't know it, if you can't look at it and find out, then you haven't got a strategy. You're just guessing. You're just gambling, which is what trading companies, brokers want. They want gamblers. They want people to just keep on bunging money into the machine because of the big flashy lights. And that's not how you're profitable. You can't be profitable that way. You have to be consistent. You have to follow your rules. And my rules say I get in at that stage. I got in at that stage. It also said if it's not in by 12 o'clock midday, to have cancelled the order. It was a bit late. I was already in. I mean, if this had happened at 11 o'clock, no worries, no problems. I wouldn't have even moaned to myself that I hadn't have cancelled in time, because it was before midday. And the reason behind that is, many moons ago, when I was losing money left, right and centre, I actually decided to do some research, and the research I did showed me that if you are in a trade before midday, so 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, you have a higher than average chance of the trade going in your way, in your favour, towards the end of the working day. And remember, the end of the working day is 4:30. It's not now, so 4:30, 5 o'clock. It did start to go in my favour, but if this had happened if this was like, instead of being 12, that was 12 o'clock here, and that was 11, this wouldn't be as bad, is what the theory and the back testing tells us, or tells me anyway. And because it's now working its way back up again from the 4 o'clock candle and the 5 o'clock or 4:30 close, America and Asia will now try and trickle this up. My strategy now also tells me, because I'm not above my entry position by close, which I'm not, that I should stay, well, not stay up, but I should look at this, and come 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, if I'm not above it, I need to move my stop, which is down here, to move my stop up to a more sensible location to reduce my risk even further. So that would be below this 2356. If the blue lines are causing you, a cause for concern for you, in other words, you don't know why they're there, why I've stuck them there, go back and have a quick watch of the other video. I do it in real time. None of this is pre-produced. This is all live. 1 or 2 videos that I do that are pre-produced or produced and then uploaded to YouTube are of a different nature. They're not really live trading, but they are. So I put the blue lines on as I'm doing it real time, and you better tell what time it is. So come 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight, if I'm not above my entry, I'm going to be moving my stop up. But at present, we're only 11 points down. I need is the wrong word. For me to be more confident that this trade will go in my favour, I would like this to pop up past my entry, continue on past this support level up here, and then just rocket through 2460 and continue on to the monthly highs up there. Eventually, I'd like it to go all the way up towards the daily highs at 2678, and I've it should be 2660, but even if it's 2668, that's still 10 points within 10 points of that base there, which is probably where most of the big players have placed their orders. So it's here, some big players would have placed some orders there as well. So at the minute, natural gas, we're still in, and we are looking at possibly a loss, but also possibly a win. And then we also got in on some Brent crude shorts. This, no matter which way it goes, is a perfect example of following the trade, doing that perfectly. I say that because it's gone 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is here. I hadn't put my order in. My order went in, I think it was 1 o'clock I placed it. I might be, I think it was around about the 1 o'clock. So it's after 12 o'clock, so my get out clause is null and void, and I'm looking for a breakout below this candle. So as per my strategy, I place my order. This next 2 o'clock candle comes down. I had to go at 2:30. I had to leave and go and do some things. I didn't get back until 5:30, but next candle takes me in, pushes all the way down. Probably my stop is up here, so probably 50% of my initial outlay. I'm now in profit. Would I say that? Maybe it's 50. No, I'm just shy of 50%. Oh no, it's not even 50. Maybe it's 20%. So I'm in profit, and then these 3 green candles, red candle. I'm looking for it. There's probably going to be 3 green candles and then a couple of reds. And I would be looking for this to not break above this red line. This red line represents a not significant but not insignificant resistance level. It's been hit several times. and I would have hoped, because you can only look left and deal with what you can see, that history will repeat itself again and it will touch this a few times and then fall over. I'm only looking for 1-to-1. I only want 34.25. It's 25 pence per point. It's nothing huge. And this is, as it says, where's that gone? Oh yeah, I know why. As it says, it's only an account builder. It's just to build an account. This isn't for a long trade. If it turns into a long trade, great. But I'm not looking for it to be a long trade. So I need this to bounce off and skip around up here and then just fall over. Follow this weird trend line down way past this resistance, support, and before it gets to the next low of 5706 to get itself out of 5736. So we're still in those two trades. Nothing else is jumping out. I could possibly have a quick look at the DAX for now. I do like the DAX. The DAX is one of my babies. If you were here this morning, you'd have heard me talk about the DAX trades that we broke into 3, and this worked out not perfectly. Perfect would have been leaving it at 50 pence a point all the way up to 272 point win, but as it turns out, we took partial profits, then another partial profit, and then we closed out the entire trade. That's what we made. There it is there. That's the percentage, 10.6% return. That's huge. But with only a risk reward ratio of 1.1, and that's plus 1.1. So we are in the black with the cash, we're in the black with the percentage gain, and we're in the black with the risk reward ratio for the minute. I mean, these two might turn out to be losers, which is part of the game. It's part of it. On the 15-minute, it does look like it's going to pop itself back up again, maybe breach these highs, but I would have imagined that come the end of the hourly, so tomorrow we're going to breach this pivot and just rocket on down past this 12,335. On the daily, it's made some significant movements, although this wick does tell a story. So it's had a touch, a touch, a touch, a breakthrough touch, and a close into highs. And then we've got a open above, close above, open above. It looks like it'll be a close above with a wick to the south. This would have been a 50% retracement of this candle, which, if it were to do that, would have been a good place to get in and go long. But now I'm just thinking it's going to either continue on up or fall over to the downside. If we go on to the 15-minute, there's a big old gap. I mean, 12,481 up to 12,496 doesn't sound like a lot, but over the past, well, since 5:15, that's done nothing, has it? It's hardly drifted anywhere. And on the hourly, you can see it's really plateaued. It's not done anything. It doesn't really want to push past there. So since 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it's not done anything. No one either in Britain or America wanted to take that along. And I put a little notation there, possible double bottom at 12,375, which is this support line here. If it breaks below, look at a 50% fib, which means if the candle goes below and closes below this, there might be a wick to the downside, and if that wick touches this 50% fib, the next candle, if that wick then retraces up, the next candle opens and starts to go higher, I would be in. That's another strategy that I employ on markets like this that aren't volatile enough to start moving around. So we're not going to be doing too much on the DAX tomorrow. I'll open up at 7:30 and see where we are with both the natural gas and Brent crude. I'll probably be moving probably moving the stop on the natural gas, and I'm going to leave this one alone. If it doesn't get below my entry point, which I doubt that'll happen, because it'll just trickle along by 10:30, which it won't, and I need a big candle to move down now. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to let it play out, because it might want to faff about up here and then fall. So into this nothing space, it might want to faff up there for a while and then fall down. Excuse me. Anyway, so let's see if there's anyone in the chat. I can't see the people in the chat for some reason. I don't know why. I was having issues earlier this morning, but no one seems to be in. So I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for watching. Have a watch of the previous video. Honestly, it will tell you all about why I've put those blue lines places, and there's also a video about the consistency and money management and time, along with the reasons. Trading isn't difficult from a physical perspective. It really isn't. It's difficult from a mental perspective because it's boring. And that's why most traders do things like this: YouTube, Twitch, write books, go off and do other things for other traders and trainers. Not because of the money, because we're bored. Because once we put the trade on and we've managed it to the best of our ability, you've got to just let it play out. Excuse me. And if you don't let it play out, you're meddling. Sugary. And if you're meddling, then you're taking profits too early, or you're moving your stop away. You're widening your stop. You're giving yourself more risk instead of taking risk away. I'm going to go before I explode into a cloud of coughingness. So yeah, thanks for watching. Not that anyone did. And if you're watching it in the future, thanks for watching. Not that anyone did live, but nice one. And I shall see you tomorrow on Twitch. I'll be doing YouTube later on in the afternoon, and then back onto Twitch in the evening. So for now, from me, the man with a face for radio and a voice for silent film, this is Mad Trader saying, stay mad.